Well, hello and happy Tuesday. Welcome to Tuesday Motivation and Conversation. Listen, I know that it has been a little bit of a minute, and but I wanted to make sure that I jumped on tonight and share with you some practical things. Quite a few things going on. Um, Nothing in particular that I want to talk about tonight, except for just some lessons learned. Um, One of the things I want to just kind of start out with tonight is um, in my coaching group. We talk about all sorts of things. And of course, that's the vision room. So we are talking through vision, we're talking through structure, we're talking through the opportunities that we have as business owners. People are trying to establish the application of their vision. And so many of these things are, practical in nature, but unique to the individual. However, there was one area that came up. And so just talking about business structure. One of the things that I kind of want to just touch on tonight, and of course, you can always consult with a CPA or an attorney, whereas it comes to this particular area. But I want to talk about your business structure. And so, as an entrepreneur, we have so many entrepreneurs in this day and time. And, daily people are starting businesses, and especially a lot of us women who are transitioning out of corporate. Children are, grown empty nesters. And so you're starting your own thing, doing your own thing. One of the things I just want to touch on tonight and encourage you about is making sure that you assess your liability and really determine what your structure needs to be from a business standpoint. And what do I mean by that? Determine if you are a sole proprietor, if you are a partnership, or if you're a corporation, or if you are um, service corporation, professional service corporation, which is going to be an S corp. Um, and of course, or if you're nonprofit. So these are probably the top five that I would say would be the options. That's for you to establish your EIN entity with the IRS. Now, there are other business entities that come into play. So that's whether or not you are a DBA, doing business as whatever your business name is. If you're an LLC or an LLP, if it's law or something along those lines. But most in general, we're going to fall into that DBA, LLC, nonprofit organization kind of status. And so you determine these things by your liability. So, for instance, whether or not you need to start out the gate with an LLC or DBA is strictly determined by your liability. What is your liability? Now, we know that having the LLC, of course, that separates your business entity from what you're doing. But a lot of people will get into things where they're doing business but it's not where they have employees, where they have a liability for which, they need to be an LLC status out the gate. What I often encourage, and I'm not saying it's right, wrong, or indifferent, but this is what I normally encourage, entrepreneurs. If it's not a business that you could get sued the day one that you start business, then you may want to start out as a DBA. Doing business as, allow yourself, and here again, check your Secretary of State. For each state, it's different. And so for some states, you cannot start a business without an LLC. However, in some cases, those states do not charge as much for that LLC categorization or filing. But in other states, you can start your business with a DBA. You still have to file that. You still have a fee that you pay, but it's not as substantial. And you have that DBA certification until you decide you want to, flip that to an LLC, because you've now grown, you're now making monies on a certain level, and you now have employees. Well, it makes sense at that point because you have employees which you're liable for. So that's a liability. Your liability has totally changed because now you have employees that you're responsible for. So whether they're driving to you or from your location to do work, or they're out and about doing something that's relative to your business, then you have a liability because you now have employees that you're responsible for, especially if they're doing business under the auspice of your business entity. So that changes the game. But as a sole proprietor, especially, a lot of people now work at home. It may be a knowledgepreneur. What you may do is teach online, different things like that. You may not necessarily need to be an LLC out the gate. So I would say take the opportunity to check with the CPA or an attorney, that does business setups and structure, and determine where you fall and what is necessary for you. Now, for some people, this may not matter. You can go on about your business, eat your curds and wait and be good. But for others, this is something that is important because here's the deal. Once you establish that LLC and you decide, well, this is really not working for me, this is not, really benefiting me. I'm not really making any money. It's not what I thought it was going to be. Then guess what? You still, whether you did business or not, you have to pay for that LLC that you've established. So if you decide that this is not the business, I'm going to have to do something else, then you'll need to dissolve that one and you'll need to start another one. And I would suggest if you have to start another business because that one was just not working, it wasn't your cup of tea or it wasn't strong enough, whatever the case may be, then I would suggest starting with the DBA and then flipping it to an LLC once that has become the thing that you know for sure that you want to do. I've seen different scenarios where people have started LLCs just because that's what someone told them they needed to do. They weren't even sure that was their business. It wasn't even their passion. And so now you have to be responsible for paying for that business entity, whether you do business or not. And so you don't want to get caught in a position where this is something that you're doing on a regular basis as a business owner, because some people have multiple businesses. Well, you don't want to start 5 different LLCs and then you're only working with one of them. Well, you're gonna be on the, you're gonna be, that tab is coming, and so you're gonna have to pay for that entity. So you want to make sure that you take the time to assess your liability and make sure that you have your structure in place and your documentation in place. Okay, so that's one of the things that I just wanted to share. That it's so important that you take the time to vet your vision out, make sure that you have the structure in place, be clear about what it is that you want to do, and not only that, have your business plan laid out so that you can adequately do it. In the vision room, this is what we do. This is an entry level program that helps aspiring business owners and business owners determine how to set these things in place. So we talk these things through. We vet them out. We get clarity. We help you get clarity about your vision. Because here's the thing, without clarity, you're going to derail yourself at some point in time. And once you get that clarity, you need to document what that is. Because if you don't, here again, it will cost you down the road. So you want to make sure that you are super clear. So I definitely want to invite you, if that's you, the vision room is open for enrollment and you can still get in right now. And I think it's a safe place, number one, I know for sure. And it's a place that will help you to develop and to grow and to get those things in place. And so one of the things that we do is we collaborate and we test drive those visions to make sure it's on point and you're getting the things done. Your research, being clear, how you're bringing that information together. How are you establishing that framework for what it is that you're getting ready to do? And then being able to articulate it so that you can have an effective elevator pitch when you're talking to people about what it is that your business does, what your life is, or what your organization does, right? So these are just some basic fundamentals of business structure that I think are absolutely important. And so it's one of the things that I think, oftentimes nobody really just goes in the weeds about because we make, or I won't say we assume that anything that has to do with tax structure and that kind of stuff is so taboo. And it's so, all you have to do is take the opportunity to research it and find out what you need to do. And if you still feel like you're not clear, make sure that you reach out to a CPA, a tax preparer, and or an attorney who can tell you based on your liability, because every business is different. So if you are making skincare products or creams or stuff like that, you want to make sure you may need to do that because you may give someone something, they're allergic to it, and they may want to sue because the product affected them adversely. So there's so many things to consider. So based on your business, you have to assess your liability. What is your liability? Based on your liability is So, that's where a limited liability company, so that's what an LLC is. So you want to make sure that you determine what that liability is. Okay. So that's super, super, super important. And anytime though, once you start hiring persons, I don't care if it's two, one, two, then you need to move on to the next level because that's a liability. Having an employee is a liability because you're liable for anything that would, you know, have to do with your business when it comes to that. So just my little tidbit when it comes to that. So here again, this is motivation and conversation. Hopefully, this conversation that I'm having with you tonight will motivate you to assess where you are as a business owner and really tap into what your structure is so that you can make sure that you're on the right page and you have the right setup for your particular business. No matter how unique it is or whatever it is, you want to make sure that you have the right setup and structure for it. And then the other part of that, the back end part, and this is free, I'm just throwing this in for free. Make sure that you have a business checking account, not Apple Pay, not Cash App. It's fine to have those entities, but they need to all lead back to a business checking account with a banking institution. So you need to have a business banking account. So make sure that you have your business funds separate from your individual operational funds so that you can clearly identify what is business income versus what is personal and so forth and so on. So this is just some basic stuff. I don't want to go deep because everybody keep their books different. But at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you are able to clearly distinguish what is what. It should not be combined, it should be separate. And if you're going to, I won't go into all of that, but here again, make sure you have a business checking account for your business operating funds. And so if you are a person who have products online, things of that nature, then that should be going through your business entity, right? Uh, should be going into your business account. So just make sure that you have your structure together and everything is well. Okay. So before I go, just want to share some announcements with you. Of course, pen to paper registration is open. VIP is almost sold out. I got a few more spots there, but you want to get online and get registered for pen to paper 2023. The date is November 3rd through the 4th. 2023 will be in the heart of Dallas, Texas. Go to bridgetmoody.com/events and you can get registered, or you can just go to the store, to conferences, business summit, and you'll see um, the item there for you to register. So we have standard registration and we have VIP. And of course, it's going to give you an explanation and details of what VIP offers and what standard offers. But of course, I can tell you that your meals are covered with your registration. So, and we'll be in a 2-day conference this year. So it's 2 days. We'll start on Friday morning at 9 a.m. for the VIPs, 10 a.m. for the general attendees, and it's going to be amazing. I'm telling you, it's going to be amazing. So we have some awesome speakers that's going to be sharing with us: Kevin Williams, Danny White, Elaine Ellison so far. So I may bring in a panel, so I'm still thinking about that. Because I want to make sure that you get the information you need to adequately manage your vision, right? To adequately manage your vision. So this is important. So pen to paper 2023, if you've never had a pen to paper experience, I'm telling you, you're in for a treat. Then we have the vision room that's open. The Vision Room is an entry level coaching and mentoring program, and this helps you to really get clarity. Right, we take our time. It's a slow process. It's not fast. You're not on a time schedule, but we talk through this process, helping you get clarity, helping you learn how to communicate effectively, and helping you to be prepared for collaboration with your vision management process. Then we have the Consulting Vault. That's a 30-day boot camp for those of you that are a little bit more advanced and you say, I got my stuff all written out and ready. I just need the structure to put it in place so I can get ready to implement and execute. That's a 30-day boot camp program. bridgetmoody.com/vault. We'll give you all the information on that. And then we have the VMA, which is the Vision Management Academy. So that's a 90-day program that helps you to put all the nuts and the bolts in place, puts the framework there, it puts all the decor there, the graphics, everything. And so we have a lot of options there. There's some a la carte options as well, but that helps you to get you to manifestation. That helps you to get to an end result. An end result would be a product in hand, or it would be the launching of an organization or a business. So we have various opportunities for you to get connected on your level that's going to be best suited for you and where you are, and to help you get to fulfillment of vision. right? From revelation to manifestation, from vision to reality. All right. So listen, then we have vision management. The book is coming out. Later this month. So you want to go to the website and get your copy. With that pre-sale, you get a free companion copy of the workbook that goes along with the vision management book. So I'm telling you, that vision management model is going to help you tremendously. So go to the website and go ahead and get your pre-sale order and take advantage of that opportunity to get that workbook, that companion for one price. All right, for one price. So we look forward to seeing you next time on Motivation Tuesday, Motivation and Conversation. We're going to have a guest next week as we're getting prepared for Pen to Paper Conference. We're going to be sharing with you some of our prestigious speakers that are going to be speaking and just give you a little bit of the knowledge that they possess. All right. So we'll see you next time right here on Tuesday, Motivation and Conversation. Until then, make sure that you continue to see what you saw.